afternoon. We are so excited today. We have Paige with us this afternoon. And Paige has been involved with A Touch of Understanding for 14 years, I understand.
Yeah, 14
Wow.
years.
So, and you started when you were 14, you said?
Yes,
Oh
I
my
did.
goodness. And as a guest speaker in the workshops?
Yep.
Okay, can you tell us about that?
So I was and am really close with another volunteer named Courtney Ossio.
Okay.
And we did a lot of things together. And so Courtney called me and she's like, hey, I'm going to volunteer with A Touch of Understanding. Do you want to as well? And I was like, yeah, I'll do it. So that's how I got involved.
And so when you're still a speaker with A Touch of Understanding, and
Yeah.
so when you do that and you're talking to the children, what do you share with them?
Well, I tell them about my cerebral palsy
Okay.
and how my disability is affected only on the right side of my body, and it
Okay.
makes my muscles really tight.
Okay.
And I tell them the difficulty that I've had with that, and or the challenges that come with that.
Okay.
And I tell them about that I also have a little bit of speech issues
Okay.
too, just very slightly.
But that hasn't held you
Sometimes.
back.
No, but I tell them this story about how the times that I was bullied
Oh,
And-
wow. Okay.
because of the speech issues and because of the fact that I walk a little bit differently.
Okay.
And so that is a major thing that I touch on with the
Okay.
kids.
Now that was happening when you were younger.
When I was younger, the issue that came across that when this 6th grader said, you don't walk very good, so you shouldn't get what is being this flyer that was being passed around. That happened when I was in 2nd grade.
Wow.
And then I got a little bit of pushback from somebody in college
Really?
because of my speech. And they were not willing to listen to a story that I had because I couldn't get it out of my mouth.
Okay. Well, that was in a classroom then that you were doing that?
Yeah, something like
Yeah.
that. And which, it's okay.
Okay.
I have learned to take those stories and I tell the kids how, I am a speech language pathology assistant
Okay.
now.
All right.
So I've
what's your
learned to
degree in?
speech pathology.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
congratulations.
Thank you. So I have learned to take that as a positive,
Uh-huh.
but I want them to know that, bullying, it doesn't make you feel good, and
Yeah.
it's not anything that you can choose to, or having a disability is not something that you choose to have.
Exactly. And it
Like
doesn't
your-
define you.
It doesn't define me, and I always tell the kids, it's like your hair color or your eye color.
Yeah.
It's like, does your hair color or your eye color affect your ability to be a good friend? And they go, no. I'm like, it's the same way. My disability has no effect on my ability to be a friend. And it's not something that I asked for.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's a big part of my
Right. And so
my
you
story.
you cook and you do things in the kitchen. And,
Yeah, I love to
and
cook.
I know you're in one of the main videos at the workshop that are showing the kids. And what are you doing in that video?
I was peeling a potato.
Well, that's pretty awesome. So you cook at home?
Yeah, I love
Okay.
to cook.
Okay. And do you drive?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And I think that's important for our viewers to know too, that, just because someone might have a disability, depending upon what that disability is, doesn't mean that you can't do the normal activities of daily living.
Oh yeah. I drive, and you have to learn how to do things differently.
Okay.
Like, I have learned to basically tie my shoe with one hand, and
That's a great skill.
I have adaptions to my car, like a left-footed gas pedal and what they call it, suicide knob.
Oh yeah, with the round
on the steering
ones.
wheel. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a little bit different,
Right.
but I can still do it.
That's awesome.
And yeah, it's really awesome.
Well, let me ask you. So, what are some of the favorite things when you work with the children? Either questions that they've asked you, or responses that you've gotten.
So about maybe 3 months ago,
Okay.
I had this little girl come up to me. She was in 4th grade after the presentation.
Okay.
And she said, I had a stroke too when I was born.
Really?
And she started to cry.
Oh.
And I was telling her about my experience with A Touch of Understanding and how when I first started, you know, every person during their teenage years has self-esteem issues,
Oh.
more than likely.
Yes.
And there was a period of time where I thought to myself, you know, why have I been cursed with the body that I have?
Right.
And, you know, what am I going to do with my life? What kind of man would ever end up marrying me?
Right. Right.
But then I started doing A Touch of Understanding, and I met Mike Penketh,
Oh. Okay.
who, you know, he has no arms, and he flies airplanes upside down. And to me, that was so incredible that he, you know, was so successful. And I looked at him and I went, man, he has no arms. None.
And he's flying planes.
And he's flying planes. I have no excuse. And so I was telling her about him, and
Uh-huh.
and I was like, you know, you need to hold your head up high. You're going to be, you know, things are going to be more difficult for you,
Right.
but you're going to be just fine. And she was, I could tell that you know, her disability was very mild.
Okay.
And
okay.
so, but still that, you know, weighed really heavily
For her.
on her
Yeah.
heart.
Yeah.
And
Obviously.
so I gave her my phone number, and I said, if you ever want to call me, give me a call, and if you're ever having trouble, I'll always be there, and we can talk. And she hasn't called me, but that wasn't the point. The
Right.
point was that I wanted her to know that it was going to be okay.
Yeah. And that there was someone else out there
Yeah.
that could relate to whatever the challenges that she has also gone through.
Yeah.
Well, that was very sweet of you to do that, to offer your phone
Yeah.
number and reaching out to her that way. That was way cool.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you, have you ever heard any of Nolan's jokes?
No.
Never?
I don't think
You've
I
been
have.
involved with the ATOU for 14 years. You've been part of the ATOU family, and you have not heard Nolan's jokes?
Well,
Oh.
maybe I have. I'm
Okay.
not remembering any
That's
right
okay.
now.
That's all right. You don't have to remember them. I'm just curious if you'd ever had one. So, Nolan, you have a joke for Paige?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I want to
Okay.
hear these famous jokes.
What did the drummer name his twin daughters?
I don't know.
Anna 1, Anna 2.
Do you have another one?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, here we go.
What do clouds wear under their pants?
I don't know.
Thunderwear.
He's full of them. I think you should write a book, Nolan's jokes.
Ooh, that was a good idea.
Yeah, see?
I'm on it.
Okay.
Okay, so what do you call a cow on top of a volcano?
Uh-oh.
I don't know. What?
A milkshake.
There's one for you, Nolan. That's perfect.
Good one.
Paige, we have a new campaign that we've introduced, and so we wanted Nolan to tell you a little bit about it. So it's a paperclip challenge. And so Nolan, why don't you tell Paige a little bit about that?
So the paperclip challenge is Roxanne and I started off with paperclip, trading for bigger and better things. And throughout this course of our carpool conversations, we've been trading all of our carpools and see what we could come up with. And today we have this really cool laptop bag to trade for you.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is so cool, actually.
Can you use that?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
And so we were wondering if you have anything to trade for.
I do.
Ooh,
I have this
look how
dress
pretty.
shirt.
Ooh.
That's,
Okay.
Nolan, that would look good on you.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
it would.
I think this is my color.
But okay, so I bought this online, which
Okay.
can be a hit or miss.
Okay.
And it was too big.
Okay.
And I was in a really busy internship at the time, and I didn't have time to get take it back, and so
Okay.
it's just been
All right. Well, look at that. That's so
had
pretty.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
So-
Show that puppy off.
yeah.
Sweet.
Woohoo! That is really pretty.
So
All
tag
right.
is still on it.
Yep. That's beautiful. Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Okay. Absolutely. So thanks for being with us today.
Yeah.
We're so grateful that you're here.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Okay. All right.
All right.